Lord Bear, seeing the change in the situation, quickly suppressed the disdain in his heart. Now, this feels like a real fight. His gaze grew heavy, but without hesitation, he threw his head back and let out a thunderous roar. The moment his roar ended, Lord Bear's previously 2-meter-tall body swelled rapidly. In mere moments, his size multiplied, growing to 5 meters. His limbs and muscles also expanded noticeably, giving him a terrifying, overwhelming presence at first glance. Let's see what you've got. Xiao Yan's aura flared brilliantly. The terrifying energy surrounding him had clearly reached the early 7-star Do D stage. Xiao Yan had activated the Skyfire 3 mysterious changes to test if it could harness the Sacred Flame's power for an additional boost. Moreover, he wanted to solve the issue where using this secret art would summon his clan's mark. Now, both objectives were successfully achieved. Bring it on. Lord Bear grinned, his voice rough and wild. We should step back a bit. Their battle is bound to cover a terrifyingly wide area, Mu Yingying said, pulling Qing Xian back slightly. Got it. Qing Xian nodded, but despite stepping back, her eyes remained locked firmly on Xiao Yan. With the power of the Skyfire 2 transformations, combining the Imperial Flame and the Sacred Flame, Xiao Yan's strength had skyrocketed to the early 7-star Do D level. Even though the boost was temporary, it would still be the key to deciding the outcome. Wind-rending hand. Lord Bear roared, unleashing several sharp claw slashes toward Xiao Yan, each streaking through the air with frightening precision. As his attack struck, the sky in front of Xiao Yan flickered, and sharp currents of energy suddenly materialized, racing toward him. Go! Xiao Yan raised his palm slightly, and a brilliant thread of imperial flame separated from him, clashing head-on with the fierce energy streams. The moment the two forces collided, they canceled each other out with a violent shockwave. Looks like your power surge does come with some real strength, Lord Bear admitted, shaking his head. I underestimated you earlier. In Lord Bear's mind, his estimation of Xiao Yan had shifted. Of the 3 humans present, 2 women and 1 man. It was clear that Xiao Yan was the most dangerous. Lord Bear guessed that Xiao Yan's current power might even rival that of a perfect 6-star Do D. It was for this reason that he had chosen not to let the twin-headed subdragon act. Instead, he handled Xiao Yan personally, ensuring that no mistakes were made. After all, his master was currently performing secret work atop the boundless mountain, and no interruptions could be allowed. If you won't attack, then I will. Xiao Yan knew the Skyfire 3 mysterious changes was powerful but time-limited. Wasting no time on words, he moved. The ancient ruler of heavenly flames reappeared in his hand. Old friend? Holding the familiar ruler again, Xiao Yan felt an indescribable comfort, as if the weapon itself was resonating with him. Take this. Flame-splitting sea-devouring ruler. Xiao Yan's voice boomed as his early 7-star Do D power surged forth. The ruler in his hand erupted with dazzling light, forming a colossal fire-imbued ruler, hundreds of meters long, which swept toward Lord Bear like a burning crescent moon. This attack, it's on a whole different level, Mu Yingying murmured, recognizing the terrifying might of Xiao Yan's technique. Although the flame-splitting sea-devouring ruler had always been powerful, it had never been this overwhelming. With his boosted strength, Xiao Yan had elevated the technique to new heights, one even a perfect 6-star Do D would struggle to withstand. It must be that weapon. There's something special about it, Qing Xian remarked, her bright eyes catching the subtle change in Xiao Yan. Since his power boost, his use of the ancient ruler of heavenly flames had seemed unusually smooth, as if he were a completely different person. In an instant, the massive fire ruler reached Lord Bear. Yet instead of retreating, Lord Bear's face lit up with anticipation. He stomped the ground fiercely and raised both arms, determined to block the attack with sheer physical force. This guy really trusts his raw strength, Xiao Yan murmured, shaking his head slightly. He could tell that since his strength had surged, wielding the ruler had felt different, more natural, more connected. Looks like I'll need to consult Elder Zhu or the blacksmith master in Xinling City about this. Xiao Yan set aside his thoughts for now, though the shattered celestial sword he had acquired in the forest of Corpses remained in the back of his mind, almost forgotten. Boom, boom, boom. The fire-imbued ruler smashed into Lord Bear with tremendous force, sending waves of scorching flames in every direction. For a moment, Lord Bear's expression shifted slightly. But then, astonishingly, he caught the giant fire ruler with his bare hands. Though his hands bore slight scorch marks and his feet sank several meters into the ground, Lord Bear stood firm, absorbing the remaining fire energy into his body. "This guy is getting more terrifying by the second," muttered both the twin-headed subdragon and Nightcat, watching from the side with growing unease. The last time they had seen Lord Bear exert his full strength was during his fight against the five-element beast, and even then, he hadn't been as powerful as he was now. Decades had passed, and his strength had grown to new heights. "Ha ha ha. Kid, this is great. It's been ages since I had a fight this satisfying." Lord Bear roared with laughter, exhilaration shining in his eyes. "As you wish." Xiao Yin saw the opportunity, and with a burst of power, his ancient ruler of heavenly flames unleashed 4 terrifying strikes. These were the first 4 layers of the 7-layered Skybreaker ruler. This time, the power of the first 4 layers was far stronger than ever before. However, to Xiao Yan's surprise, no matter how fiercely he attacked, Lord Bear made no effort to fight back. He just stood there, absorbing the blows like a training dummy. Something's not right. This guy must be planning something. Xiao Yan's eyes narrowed as if he had caught on to Lord Bear's scheme. "Is that all? Come on, keep going." Lord Bear barked at Xiao Yan, his voice filled with arrogant defiance. "Just a little more," Lord Bear muttered quietly to himself, so softly that only he could hear it. Swoosh. "Lord Bear, in the end, you really are giving me exactly what I wanted. Ha ha ha. You fools. Did you think escaping from Falling Spirit Mountain was something you could achieve? You're all just pawns for my tribulation. This time, I will break through to the level of an 8-star Do-D. And when that happens, Incense Pavilion, I'll settle the score for treating us like your little training grounds." Deep within a mysterious cave at the summit of Boundless Mountain, the energy from Xiao Yan's fire-infused ruler strikes, which Lord Bear had absorbed, suddenly erupted within the cave, filling the space entirely. The scorching heat immediately ignited the 2 massive cauldrons, which had been brimming with magic cores and essence blood. With the help of Xiao Yan's imperial flame, the items in the cauldrons began to melt rapidly. Above the cave, an ominous phenomenon slowly began to take shape. How odd. It's like Lord Bear has become a different person. I remember when Lord Bear used to be a berserker in battle. He never gave his enemies a moment's breath, always going in for the kill. But now, he's just standing there, taking hit after hit from Xiao Yan, remarked one of the twin-headed subdragon's red heads in confusion. "Have you noticed? He's been absorbing the fire energy leaking from Xiao Yan's attacks. Every time he withstands one of Xiao Yan's massive fire strikes, more of that energy flows into his body." "I don't know what he's planning," the other head said. Absorbing the fire energy, Nightcat's voice suddenly sharpened. Because of Nightcat's small size and special abilities, it had always lived inside the mysterious cave on Boundless Mountain, whereas the twin-headed subdragon and Lord Bear had their own territories. But after hearing the dragon's observation, Nightcat recalled something. Its master had been preparing the magic cores and essence blood for a long time. Those 2 massive cauldrons filled with them, they seemed to be missing something. And now, after thinking it over, Nightcat realized it was likely fire. But not just any fire. Its master had mentioned that in order to refine the magic cores and essence blood, ordinary flames wouldn't do. Given the unique nature of the death beasts here, only a special kind of flame would work. Could it be? In an instant, Nightcat seemed to understand everything. "What is it?" asked one of the twin-headed subdragon's heads, eyeing Nightcat curiously. It was strange enough that Lord Bear was just taking the hits and absorbing the fire, but now Nightcat was acting oddly too. "It's nothing." Nightcat shook its head slightly, though deep down, it was alarmed. "This guy." The twin-headed subdragon knew from Nightcat's expression that it had figured something out, but it didn't press for details. "This guy isn't even a fire attribute user, yet he's absorbed so much of my fire energy. Isn't he afraid of being consumed by it? Xiao Yin continued his relentless attacks on Lord Bear. Yet no matter how powerful his strikes, they barely scratched Lord Bear's tough hide. The damage was negligible, given how thick-skinned Lord Bear was. Something's off. Lord Bear is absorbing my flame, but it's not staying in his body. Xiao Yan's mastery over his imperial flame was absolute, and in the next moment, he sensed something unusual. Where is it? As Lord Bear resisted his attacks, Xiao Yan focused, closing his eyes briefly, and suddenly felt the presence of his imperial flame. Looking up, Xiao Yan's gaze locked onto the summit of Boundless Mountain. Even though dense smoke blocked his vision, Xiao Yan could still sense a familiar energy from the mountaintop. That energy, it was his own imperial flame. Through his senses, Xiao Yan realized that Lord Bear had been absorbing his fire energy and transferring it to the summit of Boundless Mountain. Xiao Yan didn't know exactly how Lord Bear had managed to pull this off so stealthily, but he was certain of one thing. The fire energy he had unleashed was now concentrated at the mountain's peak. And from what he could sense, there was something else up there. A much stronger presence was brewing. Lord Bear, what exactly are you planning? Hurry up and defeat him already. The twin-headed subdragon was growing impatient. They were supposed to be the three strongest beings on Boundless Mountain, yet here they were, struggling against a mere human. If word got out, they'd be a laughingstock among the death beasts. What do you know? Lord Bear shot a disdainful glance back at them. Right now, what his master needed most was the powerful fire energy. The more he absorbed, the greater the chance of success for his master's plan. Once his master succeeded, there would surely be plenty of rewards for him. If you insist on absorbing my fire, don't think it'll be that easy. As time passed, Xiao Yan realized just how tough Lord Bear's body was. Shua, shua. Lord Bear, seeing Xiao Yan stop his attack as if lost in thought, seized the moment and gave no time for a breather. His sharp claws suddenly lashed out, sending several fierce waves of energy shooting toward Xiao Yan. This guy seems like he's hiding something. Realizing the danger, Xiao Yan quickly dismissed his thoughts. The ancient ruler of heavenly flames in his hand began to glow brightly, radiating an aura of unprecedented terror. The secret technique is ending. Is he planning one final strike? Lord Bear narrowed his eyes, his bulky, powerful body shifting slightly as he kept a close watch on the brilliant figure, now fully engulfed in the imperial flame. Though I don't know what game you're playing, Lord Bear growled. It's time to end this. With a sudden shout, Xiao Yan raised the ancient ruler of heavenly flames high, unleashing a dazzling light that immediately blocked Lord Bear's terrifying attack. Take this! Xiao Yan roared as he surged forward, gripping the radiant ruler tightly, and charged directly at Lord Bear. Xiao Yan knew that Lord Bear was absorbing the power of his flames for some reason, but he couldn't figure out the creature's true intent just yet. For now, he could only focus on defeating him first. Xiao Yan also deliberately refrained from using any dose skills. He wanted to rely on the terrifying power of the ancient ruler of heavenly flames itself, combined with his precise control, to severely wound Lord Bear. Otherwise, just relying on his current Do skills alone, he might exhaust all his Do Chi without ever bringing the beast down. Nice try, boy. Lord Bear sneered, seeing through Xiao Yan's plan. He raised his furry hands, and suddenly, walls of earth appeared in front of him, blocking Xiao Yan's path. Boom, boom, boom. Xiao Yan, unfazed by the sudden appearance of the earthen walls, shattered them one by one without hesitation. Boy, thanks for your flames. Now, let me show you the true fear of death. Lord Bear laughed wildly, his voice reverberating through the space. This guy, he's finally going all out. But why do I feel like something in Boundless Mountain is calling to them? Xiao Yan thought, momentarily frozen by Lord Bear's overwhelming aura. His gaze slowly shifted toward the three death beasts nearby. That's enough. Return. Just as Lord Bear was about to make his move, a calm voice echoed down from the peak of Boundless Mountain. It seems the plan is starting. Lord Bear's eyes gleamed with excitement. Without a second thought, he leaped toward the mountain peak. Nightcat and the twin-headed subdragon exchanged glances and quickly followed suit. As the voice from the peak of Boundless Mountain echoed, Xiaoyan felt something inside him stirring, a sense of greed slowly seeping out. Even the mist that had been shrouding the mountain's summit began to dissipate, replaced by a heavy, ominous blood cloud. This fluctuation, Xiaoyan muttered, staring at the now clearly visible summit, where the white, mysterious mist had faded and a menacing blood cloud was slowly forming. Within the blood cloud, waves of unsettling, terrifying energy swirled, as if waiting for something before unleashing their full might. Could this disturbance be from that thing in Boundless Mountain? Even if someone were undergoing a tribulation, without reaching the peak of Do Di or Do Xian level, it's impossible to summon such a heavenly tribulation. A figure muttered to himself at the highest point of the five-element mountain range, where the five-element beasts resided. The five-element beasts, creatures with 5 distinct attributes, were special death beasts. Their bodies, magic cores, and essence blood held immense value. In the outside world, these beasts had long been extinct, but in the unique space of Falling Spirit Mountain, if someone were to kill a 5-element beast and obtain its magic core or essence blood, they would fetch an astronomical price. Unlike the essence blood of common magical beasts, the essence blood of a 5-element beast was best suited for medicinal baths, making it a crucial resource for body refinement. Their magic cores, with 5 elemental attributes, were said to be necessary for refining certain celestial-grade pills. Though the truth of this claim remained uncertain, the value was undeniable. The 5-element beast's body emitted a radiant 5-colored glow, resembling that of a tortoise. Its eyes showed a hint of doubt as it looked forward. Many knew of the 5-element beast's fearsome reputation, but few realized its true form was that of a tortoise species. The 5-element beast had another name, 5-element golden tortoise. I don't know what that creature in Boundless Mountain is up to. I knew he had grand ambitions, but I didn't expect him to be this reckless. Looking at that blood cloud on the mountain peak, it seems he plans to use this to undergo a tribulation. But we death beasts, even with magic cores and essence blood, are still bound to Falling Spirit Mountain. What's that creature really after? The 5-element golden tortoise muttered, shaking its head. Despite its strength, even the 5-element golden tortoise couldn't help but feel a shiver of fear toward the one at the top of Boundless Mountain. He was, after all, the strongest in all of Falling Spirit Mountain. Forget it. I'll leave him be for now. Every time the Incense Pavilion sends people for their trials here, they always try to hunt me down. But I, the mighty 5-element golden tortoise, am not so easily killed. With that, the massive tortoise shell glowed with a strange 5-colored light as the beast slowly moved off into the distance. The Tianmu mountain range was a perilous place, teeming with venomous creatures. A single misstep could spell disaster. The sheer number of poisonous beasts made traversing the range exceedingly difficult, as the toxins posed a deadly threat to most. This blood cloud. Has that guy from Boundless Mountain gone mad? In a remote corner of the Tianmu Mountains, a 6-legged beast awoke with a start, speaking out loud. This 6-legged beast was none other than the king of the Tianmu Mountains, the Tianmu Behemoth. The creature had no distinct arms or legs, just 6 terrifying limbs and hundreds of compound eyes running along its body, a sight enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. Hamster, go greet the humans entering the Tianmu Mountains. Ground Snake, head over to Boundless Mountain and find out what that guy is up to. Report back immediately if there's any news. The Tianmu Behemoth's countless eyes slightly opened, issuing orders. Yes. Yes. A massive black snake and a hamster, tens of meters long, shot out as soon as the behemoth finished speaking, responding with urgency before disappearing into the distance. I hope the guy doesn't stir up trouble. If he angers the higher-ups of the Incense Pavilion, we'll all pay the price. There's a Do Xian in that place, after all, the behemoth muttered, its eyes slowly closing again, clearly irritated that its slumber had been disturbed. This blood cloud, back at the halfway point of Boundless Mountain, Xiaoyan stared at the blood-red cloud that had suddenly appeared at the summit. Why aren't you pursuing them? Qin Xian asked as she arrived by Xiaoyan's side, noticing that the 3 death beasts had retreated to the summit. Don't chase a cornered enemy. Besides, during the battle, Lord Bear was absorbing my flame power. I suspect they're plotting something. Xiao Yin shook his head. A plot. Qin Xian was startled, realizing she had overestimated Lord Bear, assuming his power was responsible for absorbing Xiao Yan's flames. Indeed, the blood cloud at the summit is likely connected to Lord Bear's absorption of my flame power. I can sense traces of my fire in it. Mu Yingying approached, raising her head to observe the ominous cloud above. Just as Xiao Yin was about to respond, a wave of weakness surged from within him. The enhanced strength he had gained from using the sky fire 2 mysterious changes faded, leaving him drained. The technique had clearly taken a toll on him. Your strength, moments later. Xiao Yan's aura stabilized at the late 6-star Do D level, but fatigue still lingered. I'm fine. I didn't expect the side effects of this technique to be so significant, Xiao Yan smiled. This was his first time using the Skyfire 2 mysterious changes, which combined the power of 23 different heavenly flames and the sacred flame. The boost in strength, 2 full levels, had been impressive, though the exhaustion that followed was a small price to pay. Unlike other enhancement techniques, this one only left him temporarily weakened, recoverable with some rest. I sensed something terrifying at the summit of Boundless Mountain, Qin Xian said, her gaze fixed on the blood cloud at the peak. What do you mean? Mu Yingying asked, puzzled. It feels like a high-level magical beast is undergoing its tribulation, Qin Xian murmured in shock. The blood cloud was a telltale sign that a high-level magical beast was attempting to transform into a human form. If the beast succeeded, it would gain human intelligence and emotions, becoming capable of human cultivation. But failure would mean utter destruction. A magical beast of Do Xian rank undergoing human transformation? Xiao Yin was stunned. He had long heard that once a magical beast reached the Do Xian level, it could choose to transform into human form. This transformation allowed the beast to combine the advantages of both humans and magical beasts, making cultivation much easier. However, the tribulation was notoriously difficult, with even a slight misstep leading to obliteration. Could it be? If that's the case, the king of Boundless Mountain might have already reached the Do Xian level, Xiao Yin remarked, surprised. If the king of Boundless Mountain had truly reached the Do Xian rank, even 10 Xiao Yans would be no match for it. That's impossible. My master told me the king of Boundless Mountain is powerful, but nowhere near the Do Xian level. At most, it's at the perfect 7-star Do D stage. Otherwise, my master wouldn't have sent us to such a dangerous place. Qin Xian protested, clearly unwilling to accept the idea. Your master? Xiao Yin asked, curious. He knew very little about her background. My master is Elder Qing, Qin Xian replied, not bothering to hide the information. Elder Qing. Xiao Yan's eyes widened as he gave Qin Xian another look. To be taken as a disciple by Elder Qing spoke volumes about her talent. In that case, what she said was likely true. There's still one problem. How could a magical beast that hasn't reached the Do Xian level trigger a tribulation? Only Do Xian beasts are supposed to undergo such a transformation. Mu Yingying was still perplexed. Not necessarily. While that's the common belief, many magical beasts actually attempt the tribulation while still at the 9-star Do D level. As Xiao Yan's mind stirred, he asked, but how could there be a king within Boundless Mountain? Xian Yin responded, I'm not sure either, but I suspect it has something to do with the mysterious space of Falling Spirit Mountain. Ah, I see, Xiao Yin nodded in realization. Let's go. Now that the 3 death beasts have already reached the summit, we should check it out too. Besides, apart from the competition, Master also assigned me another task, Qin Xian said eagerly. Rustle. Just as they were preparing to leave, an eerie, sinister voice spread through the air. I'm afraid you won't be able to leave just yet. The moment that voice echoed, Xiao Yan's already weakened body shuddered violently. He recognized that presence all too well. It was ghostly qi from the ghost realm. Even the suppressed traces of blood demon gold qi within his body seemed to stir, showing signs of awakening. An enemy. Mu Yingying, who possessed the sacred flame, was the first to sense the ominous aura from the figure cloaked in dense black, ghostly chi. The sacred flame, a force of pure yang energy, had a powerful ability to sense and counter sinister and evil presences. The figure, wrapped in ghostly chi, completely ignored Mu Yingying and Qin Xian, and instead said coldly, "I'm looking for Xiao Yin." His voice dripped with disdain, as if nothing in the world could faze him. With Enmu's power, defeating even all three death beasts together wouldn't be much of a challenge. Xiao Yin frowned. "What do you want?" Without hesitation, he swallowed several high-grade Doqi recovery pills, accelerating the restoration of his strength after using forbidden techniques. "I'm here for two things," the figure said flatly. "First, I need to borrow the heart of the Ghost Emperor from you. Second, I've come to take your head." As he spoke, his eyes locked onto Xiao Yin through the shroud of black ghostly chi. "Ha ha ha." Xiao Yin laughed wildly. "The heart of the Ghost Emperor? I don't have it, but if you want my life, you'll have to see if you're worthy." With a burst of laughter, Xiao Yin wasted no time and unleashed the ancient ruler of heavenly flames, sending it hurtling toward Enmu. "Arrogant fool." Enmu sneered as wisps of black ghostly chi surged out to intercept Xiao Yan's attack. The heart of the Ghost Emperor? Could it be he once killed the twin Ghost Emperors? Qin Xian speculated aloud. That heart is a relic of the Ghost Emperor himself. This man must be from the Ghost Realm. But after the twin Ghost Emperors were slain, the heart of the Ghost Emperor was no longer with Xiao Yin. Mu Yingying said, her eyes narrowing with resolve. "We need to deal with this Ghost Realm figure quickly, or else..." Without further hesitation, Mu Yingying's figure surged forward, her hands lifting as she launched an attack toward Enmu. "Ha!" Enmu let out a powerful burst of energy, knocking Xiao Yin back instantly. Just as Mu Yingying leaped toward him, Enmu noticed her beauty up close for the first time. Her pure, lotus-like appearance was striking. "Damn it, his power!" Xiao Yin cursed under his breath as he crashed to the ground. His Doqi still not fully restored. This was going to be a tough fight. "This is going to be a hard battle," Xiao Yin muttered, and at that moment, the core inscription of his divine life essence began to rotate violently within him. Several core runes materialized and scattered subtly around the area while Enmu remained unaware. With his enhanced spiritual power, Xiao Yin no longer needed scrolls to form arrays. His mind alone could direct the formation. It was now an intrinsic part of him, seamlessly integrated with his body. "Let's attack together." Qin Xian, realizing Enmu's strength, gave a cold snort as she prepared for a joint assault. "You two have such striking beauty, but your power is lacking. If you'd follow me, I could." Before Enmu could finish, a blazing red flame erupted from Qin Xian, attacking his protective ghostly chi. At the same time, a dazzling blue sacred flame from Mu Yingying burst forth, assaulting him from the other side. "Damn it!" Enmu cursed as the flames made contact. His protective ghostly chi, sensing the overwhelming danger, shrank back into his body as if recoiling from a fatal threat. "I'll send you a bigger one." Qin Xian's mind surged with power, and a massive hand engulfed in fiery red flames crashed toward Enmu. Its force so overwhelming that even a late 6-star Do-D might struggle to resist it. Boom, boom, boom. Though surprised by the strength of the flames, Enmu remained unfazed. He raised his hand to meet the fiery attack head-on, easily dissipating Qin Xian's fiery shadow. Moments later, the firestorm faded, leaving Enmu's hand unscathed. "Enough wasting time. Now, it's time to play your death song." Enmu's twisted grin sent chills through the air. As he smiled, the entire space around the four of them grew more sinister and eerie. Almost there, while Qin Xian and Mu Yingying were locked in battle with Enmu, Xiao Yin had not been idle. It's indeed strange. Ever since Xiao Yan's spiritual power surged under the nourishment of the sacred flame, every time he tapped into his spiritual energy to connect with his core, it became effortless, with no hesitation at all. Without thinking much, Xiao Yin concentrated on gathering core inscriptions. In just a few moments, he had condensed thousands of them, dispersing them around the four of them. The inscriptions formed the early shape of a formation, which would activate instantly with a command from him. Meanwhile, Xiaoyan also observed Enmu closely. When Enmu caught Qingxin's flame attack with his bare hand, his palm visibly trembled. Clearly, even though it was just a subflame from Qingxin's sacred flame, its power was not to be underestimated. After all, ghostly qi from the ghost realm was eerie and sinister, while flames, especially the sacred flame, were full of yang energy, naturally possessing some restraining effect. Humph! Enmu sneered, "I'll give you the perfect death melody." Swoosh! In the next moment, Enmu sent Mu Yingying and Qingxin flying with a strange laugh echoing in the air. Immediately, thick black ghostly qi poured from his body, sealing off all of Xiaoyan's group's escape routes. Within moments, the black qi enveloped a 100-meter radius around them. Is this some kind of barrier? Qingxin muttered. She could sense that the sinister ghostly qi coming from Enmu had transformed the very atmosphere halfway up Boundless Mountain. What a pity! Such beauties! Enmu chuckled as the barrier took form, clearly finding it a waste that Mu Yingying and Qingxin might fall here. Inside this barrier of ghostly qi, Enmu's strength would increase significantly, while Xiaoyan and his companion's power would be greatly suppressed. It was his safest tactic, considering Xiaoyan was rumored to have killed the twin ghost emperors. Whether that was true or not, Enmu couldn't afford to take chances. Let me handle this. Just as Mu Yingying and Qingxin prepared to unleash a terrifying attack to break the barrier, a calm but confident voice rang out. You can do it? Qingxin exchanged a glance with Mu Yingying. With her keen perception, she knew Enmu's strength had reached the early 7-star Do D level, and within this mysterious space, his power could be even greater. Don't worry, I can handle him. Xiaoyan smiled faintly as he stepped past the two women, his sharp gaze locking onto Enmu. Despite the eerie ghostly qi emanating from Enmu, Xiaoyan remained unafraid. This guy's aura is strange. He might be one of the 9 ghost emperors of the ghost realm. The voice of Xianyan echoed in Xiaoyan's mind. 9 ghost emperors? Xiaoyan hesitated, just as he was about to make his move. Back in the forest of En corpses, he had killed the twin ghost emperors. If this man was also a ghost emperor, then his strength. No, this aura should belong to one of the ghost emperor's top generals. After all, he's only at the 7-star Do D level. Xianyan quickly corrected Xiaoyan's thoughts. What exactly are the 9 ghost emperors? Xiaoyan asked in his mind. The 9 ghost emperors are the most powerful beings in the ghost realm, second only to the ghost immortals. While they may not be peak Do D, their abilities are unrivaled under the ghost immortal level. I don't know much about the 9 ghost emperors, but the twin ghost emperors you defeated were one of them. They could barely rank in the top 6. Moreover, even though you killed them, unless you destroyed the heart of the ghost emperor, another twin ghost emperor could soon be reborn. From what I know, very few things in the 7 realms can destroy the heart of a ghost emperor, Xianyan explained. Hand over the heart of the ghost emperor, boy. Enmu sneered as he noticed Xiaoyan stepping forward instead of hiding behind the two women. If this guy had just stayed a coward, killing him might have required more effort. After all, they were on Falling Spirit Mountain, and using too much force might attract experts from the Incense Pavilion. The heart of the Ghost Emperor. The heart of the Ghost Emperor is the most vital essence of a Ghost Emperor. How could Xiaoyan have such a thing? Qingxin's gaze toward Xiaoyan changed slightly at the mention of this. Mu Yingying, on the other hand, remained calm, watching Xiaoyan and Enmu closely. If the battle spiraled out of control, she would act immediately. However, what puzzled Mu Yingying was that, although the space was filled with Enmu's ghostly qi, she didn't sense the usual coldness of it. Instead, a faint heat lingered in the air. The heart of the Ghost Emperor, a strange smile played on Xiaoyan's lips. He suddenly produced a delicate flame lotus in his hand. Without hesitation, he launched it straight at Enmu. This is the heart of the Ghost Emperor? Enmu's lips twitched as he stared at the terrifying flame lotus speeding toward him. Enmu was a trusted lieutenant of Enya, one of the Ghost Emperors. But even he had never seen the heart of the Ghost Emperor. He only knew that it contained immense power, enough to grant its wielder the strength of a Ghost Emperor. Not good. As the flame lotus neared him, Enmu roared in realization. This wasn't the heart of the Ghost Emperor at all. It was an attack, a flame compressed to its absolute limit. However, Xiao Yan's Fire Lotus of Desolation was formed by fusing the essence of 23 different heavenly flames. If Enmu could easily fend it off, it wouldn't be worthy of the name Fire Lotus of Desolation. Boom, boom, boom. Terrifying waves of heat surged from Enmu, who was cloaked in ghostly chi and a black robe. The energy spread out, making the barrier, already shrouded in Enmu's ghostly chi, ripple with agitation. Failing to defend in time, Enmu was struck by the Fire Lotus of Desolation. A piercing scream echoed, and suddenly, a mysterious, immense force blasted the fiery wave away. Yet, beneath the dissipating black robe and ghostly chi, Enmu's form became startlingly clear. As the cloak and ghostly chi concealing Enmu's body vanished, an eerily transparent figure gradually appeared before Xiao Yan. A soul form? Xiao Yan immediately noticed the change in Enmu.